Hi, everybody, and welcome to Leadershipisation, All Things Leadership. My name is Beth Bergen, and I'm a global leadership and communication coach. I build influential leaders, and a lot of the work I do is all around that. And so today, and in every single episode of Leadershipisation, that's the kind of thing that I'm looking at, helping you to develop your leadership, your communication, and your influence skills. And I'm here most Tuesdays live at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Now, we've been talking a whole heap in the past about finding mentors. It's something that comes up quite often. Now, this isn't the right time for me to talk to you about what is the difference between a mentor and a coach, and there are some quite distinct differences. But what I wanted to address today is how you might go about finding and identifying a suitable mentor for yourself. Because quite often we think someone is on our side, we think someone might be a suitable mentor, and actually, there's a whole lot of professional jealousy going on. So it makes you wonder, is this person likely to be a mentor and someone who's supporting me? Or are they much more likely to be my nemesis? So, what is a mentor? A mentor is someone who's going to provide you with some guidance, with some support. There's confidentiality in the conversations that you have. They might mentor you for your confidence. They might help you to develop your skills, identify where you have to upskill or reskill. Um, and they're likely to be there helping you to kind of navigate the complexity of leadership. So they're that guide and that advisor for you through different challenges that you might have in your role. They're kind of like a role model for you with their behaviours. They're a bit of a sounding board so that you can explore your ideas with them. A good mentor will provide you with a really safe space. So they're that confidant. They're also someone who would be your advocate and a sponsor for you. Now, that would be into other opportunities in your workplace, into helping you to get the kind of resources that you want to argue about in a budget meeting that are essential for you to be able to do your job really well. A good mentor will also help to connect you professionally into different networks that are going to serve you and support where you want your career to go to. Um, they're going to help you, they're going to encourage you, they're going to motivate you with your confidence, help you to build your resilience. And they're also the ideal person to help you to identify that here are where your strengths could easily be built on, so that you've got the opportunity to develop your skills, things like communication, conflict resolution, and problem solving. In other words, based on what I've just shared with you, your mentor is someone that totally has your back. They know that you're not always going to be right. They know that you'll make mistakes, you'll make errors, but you're on a learning journey and they're part of your support network. How you choose one is a conversation for another time. Some people might agree to mentor you and actively be undermining you. And this is what I want you before you go out to ask someone to be your mentor. Today is all about having you start to look to see, okay, what is it that I need to be noticing so that I can determine whether someone is undermining me or not. So I think there's about 7 of them. We've got about 7 of these behaviors. So this is what I want you to look at so that you can really discern how sincere this person is, and whether there's any underhand negativity happening there. So the first one is this. Are they enjoying your mistakes? If there's someone there who doesn't feel genuine empathy, they might have a bit of a smirk or be a bit over enthusiastic when you make a mistake. Pay attention. Pay attention to their behavior. Do they focus on that mistake for a long time? If they are, then maybe they're not the right person. So again, you'll hear me saying, notice what you are noticing. And that's the real focus in all of this. We're going to notice these behaviors so that you know what's going on. Okay, the second one, maybe they're talking you down. Again, look out for this. Do they brush over your success? Do they kind of, diminish the outcomes that you've achieved that you're feeling really awesome about? Do they kind of brush them off as ordinary? Do they change the focus to other trivial things in conversations or meetings? Do they kind of dismiss any praise that you might get? If your interaction with them feels insincere and they're not able to celebrate your achievements with you in a genuine way, then perhaps they're a nemesis more than they are a mentor. Again, you'll hear me say this lots today. Notice what you're noticing. Yeah. The third one, your help may not actually be genuine. The help they're giving you may not actually be genuine. Sometimes people make these really grand public gestures. And they say, yeah, I'll help you with that. I'll help you with that because they're wanting to have some attention brought to them. Notice who says that, notice who offers to help, and then notice who actually follows through. So look for those kinds of patterns in someone. They may put their hand up to say, yes, I'm keen to get involved. But notice those patterns. Are they consistently unavailable? Are they consistently unavailable? Do they consistently have a reluctance to commit to actually meeting you? Are they always busy? They say they'll help, but perhaps they never intended to. So notice here the actions rather than the words. So, yeah, we hear the words, someone goes, yes, I'm happy to get involved. Notice what you're noticing about how involved they get. What are their actions? A mentor will be there for you. Number 4, are they someone who actually gossips about your mistakes, particularly to other people? Do they share those mistakes with other people? And when they do that, are they doing it because it makes them feel good? There's a difference between just chatting about a mistake and what the learnings might be and gossiping about different people's involvement in an error. If you hear about it, then this is a big question for you because a mentor will lift you up, not just be gossiping about you. So if you hear about it, at some stage, you're going to need to challenge this person. That's one of the things that we'll look at when we're looking at how to choose a mentor or how to, moving to the next step after today's conversation. The fifth one is this. This person continually makes a comparison between you and other people, usually in a negative way. You want your mentor to be advocating for you, to be supporting you. So you achieve something, however, they know someone who's did it better. Might be them, did it better, did more than, did it faster, all of those sorts of things. And initially, this feels a little bit harmless. And then what we understand is, oh, this is a pattern. So again, Notice what you're noticing. It's a pattern. You're noticing those patterns. What they're actually doing is they're putting you down by comparing you to other people all the time. They're not great mentor material. They're much more likely to be your nemesis. Yeah? Number 6, celebrations are never, ever about you. Celebrations are about everything else but you. So they're really enthusiastic about other people. They're kind of just a bit offhand about any success that you've achieved. They praise others a whole lot so that you can hear it. Some people think all of these things are motivating for you because they encourage the competition. And what they don't realize is that these subtle little put downs actually make their mark. They actually all pile up and they're actively undermining you. Celebrations about other people might be really over the top. And they any praise they give about others will be really over the top. The thing here to remember is that your value is not dependent on the opinion of this person. So again, continue to notice what you're noticing. And it's not about you judging, it's about you notice what you're noticing, put it there, and you're going to respond into that when it comes time for you to actually choose your mentor. The final one is passive aggressive behavior. Now, we could do a whole session on this. It comes in so many different forms. There's a whole lot here about backhanded compliments. Sarcasm. Is it actually sarcasm? Is it humor? Or are they having a go at you? It's all of those veiled kind of insults. Again, look for those patterns. Are they always giving you a hard time? Are they always saying, oh, yeah, but it's okay for you, things are really easy? Or, oh, yeah, it's okay for you, you get all the opportunities? That kind of passive aggressive behavior often seems to be friendly in the first instance, while all the time they're just sabotaging your confidence. Now, what we know is that when you're going into a new role anyway, when you're stepping up and wanting to develop your leadership and communication skills and your influence as as a leader and a communicator, you don't need people with these subtle undermining behaviors around you. So, finally, here, notice what you are noticing. Now, I've said that again and again and again. It's an important skill for you to start actually getting in the habit of. Notice what you are noticing. It's not about you setting out to look for negativity or setting out to not trust people. It's about you actually noticing that so that you can then be thinking, how am I going to deal with that? And dealing with this, dealing with your nemesis, is quite a different conversation from how do I find a mentor? What you're wanting to look for is genuine relationships where people are authentic and they're real, where you're able to bounce off each other. So be discerning around those patterns. Also, learn to listen to your gut. If it doesn't feel good, then it probably isn't very good. So listen to that gut. And finally, it's about building your communication skills so that you can actually deal with this person. Yeah. And we'll have a look into the future at how to deal with that nemesis. Spend time with those people who are going to be there and support you. You've probably heard that glorious Jim Rohn quote, which is, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So think about who those 5 people are at work. Noticing what you're noticing is really a great leadership intelligence tool. And In the Leadership and Communication Accelerator that I'm starting soon, we look to really develop these. We're going to build these leadership intelligence skills, um, from communication, from influence, and all of those foundational skills so that you can be a much better leader. Reach out if you would like to learn more about it. If you've got some questions or comments from today, pop them in the platform that you're watching this on. If you're watching replay, please put hashtag replay. In the meantime, have an awesome week this week, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.